Hey everybody, welcome to the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm your host, Jesse Showalter, and I'm excited. We're starting a new 2-week daily creative challenge. It's gonna be really, really exciting. We got a bunch of people in the chat already, so I wanna say hello to Jack Watson and Rosie Way, and Sienna's in the house. Let me know where you're coming from. Tim Mobest saying, what's up, Jesse? What's up, Tim? Really excited to be here. Let me know, where are you? Where are you joining us today on the live stream? Let's just put that in the chat. If you're not in the chat, make sure you're signed in to Behance so you can participate in the live chat over there on the side. It's really, really good stuff, really exciting. Well, like I said, this is the Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge, and we're gonna be focusing on XD over the next few weeks, and we are going to be doing something a little bit different. I said, Adobe said, why don't you do something different? I said, that sounds like fun. How about we do a crash course on UI and UX design over the next 2 weeks. And so what we're gonna be doing over the next 2 weeks is we're gonna be focusing this week on a crash course on UI design. We're gonna go over some UI design basics. Let's talk typography. Let's talk color selection. Let's talk, basic, all the fun stuff that goes with UI design. And then next week, let's get into some UX design stuff. Let's talk about simplicity. Let's talk about memorability. Memorability, not memorabilia, that's a different word. But making sure that our products are easily learned and easily memorized and used, and awesome user flows and all that kind of good stuff. And so we got people, Richard Ollie's coming from New York City. We got people from the Bay Area. We got people from Germany. All right, Greensboro, North Carolina. Awesome, good stuff. Well, I hope everything is working out all right on the stream, because we're gonna get started. We're gonna start doing stuff. Today, we're not gonna be doing any challenges. We're gonna talk about the challenges a little bit, what's to come for these 2 weeks. We're also gonna be talking about XD in general. I'm gonna show you some fun things to check out and look at, and we might even download XD if you've never done it before and just get some of the basics, and maybe, just maybe, share with you a few tips and tricks and the types of workflows that I like. And I would love to answer any and all of your questions that are happening inside the chat. Because we got Alberto in the chat, we got Eric in the chat, we got Aiken and Anna and Marissa's in the chat. So many people joining us today from all over the place. And it is Monday. Isn't it Monday? Yeah. Let me know what your favorite thing is about Monday. Why don't you put that in the chat as well while we are gearing up and getting started. I'm gonna kick over to my screen here really quick, and you can see up on the screen, I'm on behance.net/challenge/XD. That's where you're gonna go for the remainder of these few weeks. We're gonna be going right here, and each day when you get here, you're gonna be able to, if you're signed in, you're gonna be able to see how the challenges are gonna work. Here's how they're gonna work, in case you were wondering. Number one, each day you're gonna receive your challenge. Our challenges will unlock below, and by the time you are done with this series of challenges, you're gonna have multiple different challenges that you've accomplished and have access to. Each one of these little challenges, when they unlock, you're gonna be able to watch the video, but you're also, how's this, gonna be able to get the starting file that I'm using so you can follow along with me. So that's gonna be super cool. Number two, you're gonna join the community chat and stay informed. And so obviously we can join the live chat, but we can also sign up for the Adobe XD Discord server, and that's gonna get you access to all sorts of fun stuff. I think there's like 30,000 creatives on the Adobe XD Discord, which is amazing. It gives you the opportunity to get some feedback, to make some friends, to make some progress and grow your skill set. Discord, it's the place to be. Somebody really helpful is gonna put a link to the Discord and how to sign up over in our live chat. So you're gonna wanna do that. Then you're gonna watch our daily show, right? That's me. You're gonna get me for the next 2 weeks. I hope you guys don't mind. You're gonna watch the daily show, ask lots of questions in the live chat, and then you're gonna follow along with me as we do it. And lastly, you're gonna share your work and get feedback from mentors and other participants. You're gonna take your work, finish it up, post it in the Discord, maybe create a new Behance project, share it to the world, hashtag, using that hashtag XD Daily Challenge so people can find it. And now we got, Tim Mobest says 34,000 creatives on the Discord. So sorry, thank you for correcting me. We got some favorite Monday stuff here. What do we got? Favorite thing to do on Monday is, it's good since it means that there are 4 days until Saturday. That could be good. I like that. Somebody else said a fresh start. That's right. It is a fresh start. Monday's a good day for that. So Let's see. What else do we have to say? Let's talk a little bit, just in case you were wondering. My name is Jesse Showalter. I'm a designer, I'm a developer, I'm a content creator, and I make lots of videos about design and development and life over on YouTube. You can find me at youtube.com/Jesse Showalter if you ever wanted to check it out. But let's talk about some content that's equally as cool, made by our awesome friend Howard Pinsky over at letsxd.com, because this amazing repository of work that he has for us at letsxd.com, all sorts of stuff. But he's got tutorials for you to learn, like snackable, bite-sized things you can kind of like get into. But now he's also doing 5-minute challenges. So you can go to letsxd.com/challenges and you're going to get these awesome 5-minute challenges right here. So a new challenge that just dropped, challenge number 2 by Mr. Howard Pinsky, is going to be all about making that exploding heart animation using a little bit of auto animate, a little bit of XD magic. You can download the sample file. You can share your work over on the Discord server so we all get to see it and celebrate that you are amazing and your design skills are super legit. Besides these 5-minute challenges, it's just so helpful to have a one-stop shop kind of place to go. Here's our an Explore Japan 5-minute challenge here. So that's going to be a fun one. You also have like all the little things. You want to learn something? Go over to Learn tab, getting started, prototyping, component states, switching from other platforms. Such a great resource. Can we all just say little golf clap for Howard Pinsky for all of his hard work. He deserves a big clap. I just don't want to scare everyone away with such a massive clap. Let's see. Let's talk about how you would get started with Adobe XD if you were interested. If you're joining us today, how do you get started with Adobe XD? Well, you can go over to adobe.com/products/xd.html. Always got to put that little thing in right there. And you're going to get XD landing page. You get all the information about it. You can download Adobe XD and get started right now. It's super duper fun. Follow the process, get started. And when you do, you might have it down here in your dock or somewhere on your computer, on your machine, PC, Mac. It's available to all. Super fun. So let's take Adobe XD as we open it up and we'll just put it right over here. And let's open up a nice blank file inside of Adobe XD. It's going to go ahead and do that. Adobe, if you don't know, XD is a super duper legit program. Has lots of bells and whistles. All the basics are there and allows you to do some really, really sweet work. If you're not using a tool like XD, if you're using other tools, you should try out XD. That's right. Somebody said, hey, it's Mr. Poppins himself, Howard Pinsky. If you don't know, inside joke, Howard Pinsky loves himself some typeface of Poppins. He really, really does. Also, if I remember correctly, he's really into the Sophia Pro right now. But that's him. You tell me what your favorite typeface is. Let's not pick on Howard because he's awesome and he likes Poppins and Sophia. Tell me what your favorite typefaces are. Let me know down there. But while you're letting me know what your favorite typefaces are, let's look a little bit more at XD. If you've never used XD and you open it up and you're going, oh my goodness, what on earth am I doing? Well, here's what you got, okay? You have a nice canvas area that you can navigate around. You can zoom in and zoom out using Command or Control minus or plus. You got artboards. It's an artboard system. You know what this means? It means you can draw out stuff. You can do all sorts of fun stuff. And then later on, you can just have new versions of artboards right there. You can have all sorts of fun. XD is great for web design. It's great for mobile design. It's great for UI design. It's great for UX design. It's great for wireframing. It's great for so many things. So if you're not using it, you should definitely check it out. Let's get this ugly red square off of, somebody says, Howard Pinsky's favorite font is clearly Comic Sans. Listen, I'm going to be real with you. Nobody's a Comic Sans fan. If you're a Comic Sans fan, you're probably a Papyrus fan, and Avatar is calling you home. Okay, let's do a little bit more of a tour around XD. So we got the artboards, we got the canvas. On the left-hand side, you got your tool panel. You got to have some tools. We got your pointer clicker black arrow. That's really, really good. Little side note, if you hold down space, you can drag around the canvas. That's a pretty nice little thing. We also have some shapes. We got squares or rectangles, excuse me. We have ellipses and we have polygons. Used to be the triangle tool. Now it's the polygon tool. You know why? Because you can drag out a triangle and then come over into our right side panel. That's our inspector panel over here. And you can change how many points are on our polygon. You can build a little hexagon, a little octagon, a little decagon. Ooh, Ooh, geometry class is coming back and it's real. We can also change the softness of the curvature, and we can even play a little bit with some of the bends and the bows of our shapes. Somebody said, ha ha ha, Avatar. It's a good movie. If you've never seen it, you should definitely see it. Okay, so we have some tools. We got some shapes we can use. You can do amazing things with shapes. What are some other things we could do with shapes? Well, we could draw a shape out. You can always fill a shape with an image if you have an image. Do I have an image? Oh, here's an image. Let's just drag a shape in here. Whoops. Let's see if we can get that in there. Should be able to. Well, for some reason that's not working right now, but we'll figure that out later. All right, you can also draw lines. Lines are a super helpful thing. Everybody needs to have a little bit of line action. And you have your pen tool, just in case you want to draw some Bezier curves. You got all the control over that stuff. I love the pen tool. I think the pen tool has stuck around in the design world for so long because it's so useful. Who doesn't like the pen tool? What's your favorite? Somebody said American typewriter for their favorite font. You stop it. It is good. It's pretty classy. It's got a look to it, all right? The pen tool is good. What's your favorite tool? It doesn't have to be an XD tool. Maybe you got a favorite tool in Illustrator or Photoshop or something. What do you like to do? Let me know. Then we got our typography tool down here. You have your Artboard tool. If you click the Artboard tool, you can draw out a custom artboard like this, any size you want, or you can select from one of the predefined sizes. We got mobile devices, we got tablets, we got Apple and Google, we got all sorts of good stuff. So you can do that, and you can also zoom in. Now, down the bottom left-hand panel, let's just zoom in a little bit so you can see it. Down over here, we're currently on the layers panel. So as we start to draw shapes on our screen, let's just fill it with a color so we can see it. Oh, that's an artboard inside of an artboard. Let me do a rectangle. Excuse me. Okay, we can fill our screen with some items here, and we can see those rectangles come up inside of our layers panel. And now you can always name these, right? Inside of your layers panel, you can move them around. If there's multiples, you're able to drag and drop and put those there. But you also have some other panels over on the left-hand side if you're not used to all of this stuff. This is the layers panel, but we also have right here is the assets panel. Let's go to our assets panel and check it out. What are assets? We're gonna get into all of this as we go through the challenges, but here's a 10,000 foot overview of what the assets panel does. The assets panel allows me to take colors and different assets or images or character styles and drop those into my assets panel to reuse them. So for instance, let's say I really like this green and black and I really want to add these colors in. I have multiple colors, also the border, the light gray border that was around there, using that as well. Now I have these colors saved. So if later on I do another rectangle like this, I say, what do I want it to be? I want it to be this color. You can always edit, update, change these, so at any time we can change everything on the fly, and everything changes globally. Why does this matter? You'll see as we get into some of the challenges, but let's say later we've created a button. Our button is represented in a very abstract way right now in this explanation by that yellow shape that we have on the screen, and all of a sudden we want our buttons to no longer be this yellow color. Well, I could go back in and change every single one by clicking on them and changing them, or I could have made sure that I used my swatch up there in the colors. I could edit it, and then I could change it to the correct color, and it changes everything so quickly. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Okay, we also can do character styles. That means if I bring some text out here and say hello world, because I'm a front-end developer as well, and hello world is just what we write whenever we write something first. And let's say I'm using something like a really awesome, oh, wait a minute, like papyrus. We're bringing it back around. Let's use papyrus just for a second. Let's say we're using papyrus and we really like papyrus because we're building a blue avatar application. That's what we're doing. We can save that character style right there. So anytime we do some other text here, text like this, and then let's say we're going to go ahead and we were playing, we were experimenting or something. We were doing some other stuff. I don't really like that. Let's go back to our papyrus font. Everybody is probably freaking out because I have papyrus on the screen. Don't worry. It's just for funsies. We're just having a little fun with it. I'm not putting it there. I'm not using it. We're just using it as an example, because if we don't like it, we can always edit papyrus and choose something a little nicer like pop-ins, because that's our boy Howard Pinsky's favesies. So we got that going on. What else can we do? We can also add some components. We're going to get into this later, but maybe we really like this square just as it is, or we like it a little bit more in the shape of a button. Maybe we want to round the corners just like this. Let's zoom in. Let's take the border off of it. We have a little pill start to our button. We want to make a component. Let's do that. Let's do just right there. Let's rename it button shape. And now we can drag new versions of our component so they're reusable. Why would you want to do this? You might be asking, Jesse. Well, at a 10,000 foot view, again, maybe we later on down the line, we say we want to change the way all of our buttons look. We're going to edit the master component. We're going to go into it and we're going to change all the components. We can do that by like changing their shape or changing their size, and everything changes at once. So in general, let's talk about what XD is great at. It's so fantastic at working smarter and not harder. It's great at making your life easier. It's great at offering amazing tools for you to use while you are kind of like working on stuff. So it's just a good thing. Just use some XD, just get into it. If you have questions as I'm going along, please put those down in the live chat. I'd love to answer them as we go. We got about 9 minutes or so left in today's stream. This might be a lot of recap for you out there, and that's okay. Maybe I'm touching on some things you never knew. Let's get back to our bottom left panel. We got components now, layers. What else do we have? We got plugins. That's right, we got plugins. When you go over to the plugin menu, you have all of your installed plugins. If you didn't know, what is a plugin? It's a little add-on. It's a little something spicy. It's a little something nice that you can use and add on or plug into XD to open up the way that you use XD. For instance, creating bullet lists or creating mock-ups or, getting images or, that kind of stuff. Like for instance, I really like this one. We'll probably talk about it later in the challenges, but we have a little shape right here. We can click on a plugin called UI Faces. We can add a face right inside of this. It's gonna save me the work. It's gonna go out to the web. It's gonna grab that image. It's gonna pop that face right in there. Oh, isn't that so nice? And that is just one of many plugins that I use in my workflow. I'll show you some of my favorites as we go along for sure. The next thing let's talk about over on the right-hand panel, okay? Anytime you click on something, you're gonna get your contextual oh, somebody said comic papyrus. Ooh, sorry. Please don't be offended by how I got sickened by the idea of comic papyrus or papyrus sans. One of those, that's a bad thing. But that's just how I feel. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I also wear comic papyrus out of my mind always. Anyways, let's talk about the right-hand inspector panel, okay? Anytime you click on something, you're gonna get your inspector panel, and it's gonna be contextual. If somebody says, I think Jesse Showalter should go to the left side in the video if possible, because most of the options are in the right side, so maybe it would be difficult to see those options. I'm not quite sure what we mean, but I'll try to do better. I'll try to do better for you, man. Let's talk a little bit about, that inspector panel. So here we go again. We're clicking on a shape. What do we get in our inspector panel? Let's just zoom in really quick and look. We're gonna get some options. We're gonna get some alignment options. We're gonna get some repeat grid options. We're gonna talk all about that. We're gonna get some of these different kind of Pathfinder like operations over here. And we also have stuff for components, measurements, layouts, the appearance of it. Do we want to change the color, the shape, the border, all of those different things. And also, do we want to mark this element for export down there at the very bottom? Now that's if I click on a shape. If I click on some text, I'm going to get some other options there. For instance, my typography options, my alignment options, all of my advanced typography options are there as well. So that's what you're going to get. And let's explore a few of them before we get going today. What's over there in this little inspector panel? One of the things that I love most about Adobe XD is the chance to repeat grid. Like let's say we have our button. Let's just clear this artboard off so we just stop looking at so many things at one time. Let's zoom in over here on our artboard. Let's say we really like this button. We want more of this button, all right? We could always go back to our components and drag in more, or what we could do is repeat grid. We can hit right here on the repeat grid button, or the hotkey of Command or Control R will bring the repeat grid up. What does that allow me to do? It allows me to create a grid of repeated items of that original element. What's really cool about this, here's what I love. You're gonna see me do this so much throughout the challenges. You're gonna grab the little spacer in between. You're you're gonna space it out nicely. Oh, that's so nice. It saves you so much time. I hate finagling things. I don't know if you guys hate finagling things. I don't like to finagle things. I just like to smarter, not harder. Always smarter, not harder. Okay, so we got some buttons there, and that's really cool. But maybe we could change that button, obviously. When we change that button, everything in our repeat grid changes. So that's really nice. Let's back up, take the repeat grid off. What else we got? Our dimensions, we can always rotate things. I like that. We can fix position when we're scrolling. Jesse, what does that mean? Why would I want to fix position like when I'm scrolling? Oh, my overlay. Okay, sorry. Somebody said my overlay is over some of the stuff. Let me go over here so you guys can, thank you for bringing that up, and thank you for defining that, Tim, a little bit better for me. I'll try to be better at that. What does that mean? Well, it means we can prototype and preview our design by pressing that little play button in the top right-hand corner. So let's just drag this down. We can see a little line pops up in XD to tell us that's the standardized artboard, and we can scroll. So why don't we put another button down below there, and we can see it. We can scroll down, but that button is moving, right? Well, why don't we grab that button and fix it while we scroll so it stays in place? It should stay in place. We're gonna fix position while scrolling, not this other one, pardon me. Good. Now we have that button. It stays right where it's at as we scroll. See what we're doing there? Ah, so nice. Okay, so speaking of prototyping, why don't we do a little prototyping really quickly since we have about 4 minutes left on today's little introductory kind of thing. So why don't we do this? We have our element on our artboard, our button. Why don't we do a little quick prototyping? If you're not used to prototyping, what is it? It's creating an interactive prototype so we can actually touch things and move things and interact with it in real time to see how things might be. So we have a button. Let's put that same button down below, and let's head over in the top here to our prototype panel. I'm gonna click on my button. I'm gonna draw a little line and connect it to the next artboard, and I'm going to tap that button. I'm gonna get an auto animate, and then let's go back the other way using the same things, and let's see what happens. I'm gonna press play. Every time I click, now we're gonna get legit animation, and auto animate, such a lifesaver. You get some really cool things using auto animate if you have never tried it before. But this is just like the basics. So what are we gonna be doing? Again, using this amazing thing that we call Adobe XD. What are we gonna be doing for the next week? 2 weeks, we're gonna be creating challenges, and I'm gonna be challenging you to the basics of UI design and UX design. We're gonna be creating awesome interfaces for all of you out there that are a little bit more advanced, but I think it's so important to get back to the basics always. The basics, the fundamentals of design, whether it be UI or UX design, are the things that make your design stand the test of time. You could be trendy, you could be fancy, you could do all the cool stuff out there, but is it foundationally sound? Because good design will always stand the test of time. So we're gonna talk about some of those things like typography and proximity and color and alignment and all those fun design basics that we use each and every day. And a lot of us, we don't even talk about it. We don't realize that we're using them, but we are. Let's call them out. Let's make sure they really sound good. Then we're gonna move on to some of those basic UX design principles. We wanna make sure things are usable and memorable and learnable. We wanna lead users down a path and through a journey that makes them excited and gives them a fun dopamine rush while they're using our applications and our designs. Because in the end, our designs, especially if you're using Adobe XD, you're probably making websites or applications. Those are things that people use. They gotta interact with them. You want people to be happy when they're using your products. That way, you can always come back. They want to come back and use what you're offering to them. So I think it's a really important thing to kind of hone in on those basics. If you guys got any questions, let me know. Anna over in the chat says she did a usability test once with XD, and the text throughout the app on certain screens shifted or was cut off, but looked fine as I was designing. Have any idea why that's happening? I don't have any idea why that's happening, but the XD team, I will say, is constantly hard at work trying to improve XD and make it everything it needs to be to make our lives better. So I also know they have a really great customer support team, so you could reach out to them and say, hey, I'm having this problem. Somebody will get back to you. Always, 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 always. Or you can always just go on Twitter and mention Howard Pinsky. Talk to him. He's an awesome dude. And there's a lot of other great people in the XD community as well. Let's see. Tim says maybe the font wasn't available on the device, so it was swapped out with a similar one. See? Question asked, question answered. That's super awesome. If you have any other questions, let me know. I'll answer questions about anything, really. But this is the basics of what we're going to be doing. And we're going to be diving into each one. Each day, we'll be pairing one of the basics of either UI design or UX design with some of the foundational basics of XD, using some of the awesome features like repeat grid, or like using things like components and component states and the assets library and plugins to make our workflow better. I love that stuff. I love workflow stuff. I love making my life easier. So with all that being said, let's switch back over to our larger camera, and I just want to say that I'm excited. I'm excited for this next few weeks. So make sure that you're signed up. Make sure you're on the Discord server. Make sure you're ready for tomorrow morning, because we're starting bright and early, depending on where you're at. And make sure you have your coffee with you and your game faces on, because we're going to be jumping into some awesome design stuff, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I like chatting. Please don't post questions about home improvement. Maybe not home improvement. Maybe not that, Tim says. But I am really, really excited to jump in and do more stuff with this Adobe Daily Creative Challenge. And remember, it is daily. Remember, you do want to follow along. And when you jump in that Discord server after, you can post your work in the challenges channel, and then you can get feedback, because that's going to be one of the most important things that you do throughout this process is challenge yourself and then put your stuff out there. Allow yourself to get that feedback that you need to sharpen your skill set, to grow as a creative. It's going to be really, really, really important. So we will see you guys back here around the same time. We'll see you same channel. We'll see you in the same place, and you'll have the same person kind of leading you through this crash course. Very excited to start that. We'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys have a great rest of your day, and enjoy yourself. Get acquainted. Get ready, because we're about to crash course it. See you next time.